Hello, welcome back to Gamerback Podcast, the re-recording edition. Um, we are. This is
What
going.
is up, Gamerback Nation?
uh, yeah, this is a. What? I don't remember the episode. Is it a podcast?
33.
33. I don't.
Yeah, we'll make this an episode.
Okay,
Fuck
this
it.
will be 33. Um, we will be doing Pokemon Presents 2024 predictions. The last podcast episode, or one of the last podcasts that me and you recorded together, was this one, like last year, I think. If I'm not
Jesus
mistaken.
Christ.
But because I've kind of just turned the channel into like me uploading random stuff that I want to upload now.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But also this is our second time trying to record this because the first time got completely derailed. Um, if you'd like to do
That's an understatement.
explain.
But yeah, I don't know. It'll probably be a little more laid back
Yeah.
because we kind of know what we want to talk about already. We kind of brought it up last time we tried to record this, but it got derailed. But we won't get derailed this time,
Also,
probably.
also no face cam this time. The last recording we did a face cam, and I rearranged my room to make it look all nice. But now my room's a disaster. So we're looking at this picture of Clodsire instead, and I'll randomly pull up random pictures every once in a while just to change it. um, but yeah, last recording I guess like was kind of a mess just because we went. I think we went a little unprepared, and then Steven had to leave halfway through, and then Adam like turned it into like a crazy argument over I don't even remember what, but hopefully this time just the two of us can stay more on track with what we're trying to communicate. With
Yep.
that being said, Pokemon Presents 2024. Um, how do we want to start this? What's the first point of
Hmm.
conversation?
Let's hit main lines a little later on. Let's start with
Good
the
idea.
with the side shit. Let's start with the triple threat of Cafe Remix Unite Masters. It's gonna happen.
The terrible.
I don't play those games, so actually don't know what to expect from all of them. But I'm gonna
I,
throw out random fucking guesses for at least two of them.
I'm gonna say we get like random insert random Paldea Pokemon into Cafe Remix.
I think we'll probably get the player characters in Scarlet Violet with Miraidon and Koraidon,
Oh,
or like I don't know, maybe like Nemona or some shit.
isn't Nimona in? I think Nimona's in Masters already.
Uh,
But the
hold on.
player character is a good pick.
Here's another not really a deep cut, but Legends Arceus did turn a year old like sometime last month recently,
Uh,
or maybe this early this month. No, it was last month. Maybe we'll get a Volo unit with Giratina
oh, that would
if
be.
it doesn't already exist.
I don't know if that exists. I kind of try to keep up with Masters, like because I think it looks cool, but I don't really know that well. I was gonna say maybe we can do because what we haven't gotten, which I'm surprised we haven't gotten in Masters yet, is Legends Arceus Ingo,
Uh,
which I don't know if they do like reprints of characters like that or like different variations because it
they
seems like.
do.
But all their reprints are like Masters originals, right? Like there's
Yeah, they're
no.
like the Signa suits.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like they have like Oras Wally and original Wally or something like there's only like one Wally, as far as I know, and there's
Yeah,
only
yeah.
you know, but it would be cool if they did start doing that. I think, but whatever. Just to give some older sprites and stuff 3D models. I
Uh,
Pokemon Go. They're probably going to talk about. Um, well, no, the Sinnoh is this week. I was gonna say they might talk about Sinnoh, but that's gonna be before. They could end up talking about it still or something, or like the post Sinnoh event.
a recap.
Yeah, yeah, because they usually have like a farewell thing for all the Go tours, I think. So they might end up bringing that up.
They
Um,
brought it. They bring in Paldea starters yet?
yeah,
Yeah.
there's actually a ton of Paldea Pokemon. Once
Uh,
again, Gen 7 is like being fucking neglected in Pokemon Go for some reason. I'm pretty sure there's more like there's just as many Paldea Pokemon as there are Gen 7 Pokemon for some reason.
What about Galar? Is Galar forgotten too?
No, when they skipped over Gen 7 and released Galar Pokemon first.
What the fuck?
I don't know what their hate boner is for. I mean, hey, I have a hate boner for Alola
I
too.
mean, yeah, I'm sure you understand.
They released Zacian and
Uh,
Zamazenta and Go before the starters for Alola.
that's crazy.
That is crazy. That's especially because a lot of people like really like Rowlet and stuff. But I don't know.
I'm gonna take Sean the Dark for fucking Pokemon Unite. Speaking of Alola, they're gonna add some Ultra Beasts to Unite if they haven't already.
Mhm. I think for Unite, once again, I think they're going to capitalize on Gen 9. I don't think there's any Gen 9 Pokemon, so maybe we'll see a
Oh,
Paradox.
that's fair.
Like maybe we'll see what is it? The stupid Garvador Paradox, Iron Valiant, because that's pretty like I think that would fit pretty well into Unite, given it has a weapon. It's already pretty humanoid.
Roaring Moon.
Roaring Moon would be kind of cool. But I think that I think basically everything now that Gen 9 DLC is out, all their spin-offs are probably going to be capitalizing on that.
Sure.
Bro, maybe
You
maybe
think
they add like DLC Pokemon. You want
does
okay,
that really cover up all this? That covers up all like
the fodder.
the stuff that's guaranteed
Yeah.
to be there.
Um, I guess if do you think we're getting a spin-off?
Spinoff. Um, I'd hope so. Did we get one last year? We did,
No,
right?
no, we
No,
didn't.
we didn't.
We didn't get
That
one
means
last
they've probably
year.
been cooking something up.
I think we got new Pokemon Snap the year before, so I guess we are due.
Oh wait, did we get Detective Pikachu 2 last year?
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that. That game was apparently
Yeah.
so bad. Anyway, yeah. So I guess yeah, we're probably due for some type of spin-off. Um, I guess we can probably both agree on Pokepark.
I want a new Pokepark. That's all I want.
uh,
That's all I ask out of the
like
Pokemon side games, new
I,
Pokepark.
I don't really like Mystery Dungeon. I don't really like Rangers. Nor do I am a big fan of Pokemon Snap.
Is Rumble on the Switch yet? We
No,
could add
but
Rumble.
Rumble they turned into like some weird gotcha game on the Wii U that I don't really want to
Oh,
see.
never mind.
I don't know. Like I don't know what I want out of a Pokemon spin-off anymore. Because there's nothing. It's not even like here's my. I'm like the
They
anti.
give us something new. I wouldn't mind something
That
new and
would be cool.
fresh.
But I don't know what they can do.
Yeah.
I'm the anti Pokemon fan. Where like, you know how Pokemon fans like they don't play the mainline games, but they like collect plushies and trading cards and play fucking
Yeah.
Unite and bullshit. I'm the total opposite, where I hate everything besides the mainline games. It's
Totally
like
understandable.
I literally like I don't know. I couldn't give a shit if it's not like mainline series, unless
Like
it's
if it's not Pokepark, I really don't care.
yeah. I mean, I'm not even like that. Excuse me, I'm not even that big a fan of Pokepark. I just think it'd be fun to get like to revive an old franchise. But also, I know it's like everyone else wants it, so I'd like to at least have some people happy. Although probably more people would be happy with Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah.
But
I
we just
think
got
if
to
they I think especially if they gave like an Explorers of Sky remake after Mystery Team Red and Blue came out.
why? Okay, serious question. Why are they remaking Mystery Dungeons games?
I don't know, they can just make new ones.
Exactly. That's
Especially
what
with
I
the new
do.
mechanics that they could add, like Terra types are like
Exactly.
fucking
Terry types,
even
Gigantamax,
Gigantamax, Dynamax.
Emus. Because there were megas in one of them, right?
Yeah, it's not Explorers of Sky.
The one on the
Or no,
3D.
was it? Yeah, whichever one came out after Gen 6.
Yeah. But speaking of megas, actually, I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later. I have a couple talking points. Once again, like last time, that I do want to come around to. I'm actually gonna write them down. I'm gonna text them to Steven so I remember them. Um,
He won't see the messages. Actually, he might. He does check now. Um, do we have anything to go over
I
after
do. Uh, Anime or like YouTube anime TV special, like animation,
all right,
right?
like the
Uh,
3 minute specials that they launch?
yeah, yeah. I don't think we're getting one of those. Unless, wait, is it?
Didn't we already get one? How they no.
Yeah, Paldean wins. You're right.
Paldean wins.
Let me. Is it the 30th anniversary this year? No, right? Oh,
No.
okay. In 2026, so we're on 28th anniversary. I thought that was like a big number. So I was gonna say, if this is like a big anniversary presents, we might get like, because you know how Generations is like every single game gets like an entry in the animation. I want one of those
Yeah.
again. Because here's what I'm honest. Like, it's what Generations, Evolutions. Those are like the two ones that are every generation, right?
Pretty sure.
But I want a new series like that. Because let me tell you, Paldean Winds was really not great. Legends
I don't think I
Arceus,
watched it.
it's like 4 or 5 episodes or something, and it's really like it's almost like spineless. You know, there's nothing substantial. Like it's about nothing. If I'm being honest, I don't know.
I think the Galar one was alright
The
for like the
Gallo
Twilight
one,
Wings.
I thought the Gallo one was really cool because it kind of like it does have a story where like this sick kid he wants to go to see the Pokemon like World Final or whatever, right? I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
sweet and like not relatable, but like oh
Heartwarming.
yeah, heartwarming. And it has like good action battles in it too with Leon and Raihan or whatever, which is really cool. And also it's a little bit longer. But Paldean Wins, I think, was 4 or 5 episodes, like 10 minutes each, but nothing happens. Like there's one battle in the entire thing. It's the last episode, and it's not that good. It's only two Pokemon. It's like a Meowscarada versus Nemona's final Pokemon. Which, if you've played the game, this is another reason I can't stand Nemona. She's just like become the win button, which I don't think is fair at all. As someone who like keeps a spreadsheet of trainers by average trainer level, she should not be winning against some people. And anyway, off topic. I don't think we're getting a Paldean, another Paldea. And also, that animation came out before the DLC. Maybe we get a DLC animation. I don't fucking know. But
I
I would just
think
like
I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do another animation until next gen.
I want the animations to start recapping the game's stories again. I don't want to see some nonsense that has nothing to do with anything. You know, I don't want to see this soy jack fucking guy with a Meowscarada who can't like cause anger issues like lose a million times. I want to see like my favorite. I guess because it's in 3D, it's different, but I would rather see an animation like recapping the game basically.
Fair enough.
But I don't think we're getting one this year. We might get like a spin-off animation or something because they've done the animation for the trading card game. We've gotten Pokemon Concierge. There's been a couple other like Poketune, right? So maybe we'll get one of those, but I don't think we're gonna get a mainline animation. Oh, you know what I expect actually?
Hmm.
I think we're getting that movie announcement for
Ah,
what's the new series called? Journeys, right?
Journey's movie. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think we're getting the Journey movie announcement, and I think they're probably gonna at least hint at the mythical with it.
Not Petrump, but a different one. You said
Yeah,
last time.
I think we're getting a different mythical. Um, which I'll get back to when we talk about mainline stuff. So I do have a different couple different possibilities for that. Anything else?
Actually, I don't think so.
Yeah, right. Probably maybe new trading card set reveal or something.
The trading cards,
But I guess we can get into the cool speculation stuff now.
the real shit.
Get past the fodder. Um, okay. Not now. What do we want to talk about first when it comes to speculation, right? Because there's honestly,
All
this is
right.
like,
First, let's go over the elephant in the room that everyone's talking about. Unova remake.
yeah, good idea. You
let's
you think
let's talk about that first.
you think we are getting some type of revisit to
I
Unova?
think we're getting something revolving around Unova. I don't know if it's a remake. I don't know if it's a new title, but I do think Unova will be present in the Pokemon Day in one way or another.
Interesting. I disagree. I see where everyone's coming from, where they're saying we're getting Unova,
Because
but
the most recent DLC had to do with Unova a lot, right?
Yeah, but that's the
Man.
thing. When have we ever like it does
When does something like that ever happen where like they alluded to a thing and then all of a sudden it came to pass?
exactly. Every time they've like Gen 4 remakes came without fucking any notice. You know? It really feels like to me the Blueberry stuff was just to hold people over. Because
Yeah.
I have my thing, my evidence where actually, you remember how I was saying it was 6 years between ORAS and BDSP?
Mm-hmm.
It's seven.
Mm.
It was seven. That's almost a decade.
Also, I think 2026 being the 30th anniversary for Pokemon would be a better time for a Unova remake.
I agree. Because 2026 reveal for 2027 release or something like that, or like not 2027, but like November
Oh,
2026.
yeah.
So it's around like that 6 7 year release mark,
And it's on an anniversary year,
and it's on
which
an
would be like a
anniversary.
big thing.
Exactly. And by that time, Gen 10 should be out as well. So you can have that like lines up too well for them not to take advantage of it, in my opinion. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, potentially, like we get Legends Unova. I don't think so. I don't think we're getting another Legends game for a while. I don't think
Which
we're.
is a shame. I do want another Legends title.
But I think here's the thing. Here's the upside. They need time to let things sit in the oven because
Yeah.
we got Scarlet Violet like raw. It wasn't even half baked. BDSP was a fucking a disaster, and even Legends Arceus. When you really put it under like not even a microscope, when you just stare at it, it kind of becomes
It's
a.
not the most complete game.
It's not like it's really really good. And this is as I've always said this, and I sound like a broken record, but it was such a good foundation. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it was. It was a
Bro,
foundation.
so many companies do this where they release a game that is like kind of bare bones and boring, but like it's a good foundation for a sequel, a follow up game, and then they do not follow it up.
Yeah. Well,
Sonic
except
Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers is a good foundational game. Game's boring as shit to play a second time. But oh my god, they could do so much with that formula slash like
here's the
oh.
problem though. They did follow up on PLA, and it was Scarlet Violet. How did they screw that up? And I can tell you how they screwed it up. It's because they're being made at the same time. Here's my copium, right? Because
you can consider the next game to be the true follow up
exactly,
to PLA.
exactly. Since Scarlet Violet was being developed at the same time as PLA, they couldn't take all the good stuff from PLA and put it into Scarlet Violet. So that means the next game, theoretically, must be better.
Praying.
Praying, hoping, praying, fingers crossed, toes crossed. You know. Either way, I don't think it'll be Unova. As much as I love Unova, like every time I tell someone like I don't think we're gonna like online or something, they're like, "Damn, you're a Unova hater." I'm like, "No, dude. Unova is my favorite region. I live in New York City. All my favorite Pokemon, Unova Pokemon. I'm like the world's biggest Unova defender. But I just think like getting
The time is not right.
the time is not right.
The time
Especially
is just not fucking right.
let's say you have your favorite like let's say I don't know. I don't even know what to compare it to, but like your favorite franchise, Star Wars, right? Star Wars just put
Mm-hmm.
out a stinker movie with
And many such cases,
well, yeah,
many such fucking cases.
but here's like the killer, right? They put out a stinker movie or a stinker piece of media, like Rise of Skywalker. No one really liked that, and then they announced the Obi-Wan show, and everyone wants the Obi-Wan show, but they're putting it out in a time where they're making bad shit. Therefore, the Obi-Wan show is going to be bad. That's what people are basically asking for with black and white remakes. They're begging
But
on their
then the thing
fucking
is, then they're
knees.
gonna rebound with like something only mediocre. Like that's how like the Legends Arceus was kind of like, but like for Star Wars that would be like the Ahsoka show, where it's
Yeah,
just it was okay and it had like its one moment,
exactly. They need to
but
consistently like build themselves back up to a place where the Unova remake that everyone is begging for can actually deliver. Because here's what's gonna happen: all people begging for Unova remakes, once they get them and they're bad, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I didn't ask for this." It's like, yes, you did. This is the consequences of your actions. You asked
you
for
know the kid in the SpongeBob car. I don't like
it.
pistachio. Then
Yeah,
why did you ask for it?
it's like they can't see. the bigger picture that we need a buffer game. That's
You
what.
know what I think? I don't think we need a buffer game. I think we need no mainline announcement.
Oh man, the thing is though, I think they need to distance
It has to
themselves.
happen. The thing is, it has to happen because that's just like the Pokemon
Yeah,
company fucking loves money,
and
so they're going to announce.
the faster they get the fuck away from Scarlet Violet, the faster people will forget about it as well. They
Oh,
can,
here you want to see? You want to hear a big thing?
yeah.
Yo, Paldea re-release.
Oh yeah, that's something I want to talk about actually.
Oh, really?
Because what if, like, because this is honestly the best buffer game ever. Excuse me. Um, if you just not re-release Paldea, but a revisit or something, whether it's a Scarlet Violet 2, like a Blazing Scarlet, Electrifying Violet, or something like that, or Ultra Scarlet, Ultraviolet. Basically, just re-release this game and have it run correctly, and that would honestly make so many people probably
That's
forget.
exactly what I was thinking. I was
Yeah,
like, they could just re-release the game, but they could be like, listen, we fucked up the first release, and you
yeah,
guys did buy the DLC. So here's just like a whole new game that comes with everything that
yeah,
runs.
and include the DLC with it. And I feel like not a lot of people would pay full price for it, but it would make a lot of goodwill. It would get people back believing like, okay, these guys are competent. These guys aren't fucking idiots anymore. Like they can make a game that it was just a hiccup. You know?
Or even a better idea, they do skip out on the main line, and what they do is they instead announce like a new patch for Scarlet Violet that completely fucking fixes it or something.
Mm, that also would be nice. But the thing is, at this point, we're 2.5 years out of Scarlet Violet's release, right? Or a year and a half. Sorry, not 2.5. I feel like if they released a patch, no one's gonna replay it. You know,
Yeah,
if they released a whole new game that
I
was
do think a
either,
second version, if they're going to fix Paldea, a second version is the way to go.
and also it's one of these games that desperately needs like the upper version because there's so many differences. Because the game makes sense to have or to have an upper version. Because can I tell you a little bit about the story? I know you haven't played it yet.
Yeah, sure, it's cool.
You know how there's two,
I don't play Pokemon for a good story. I play it for the game.
yeah, you know how there's two professors,
Yeah,
or like one professor per version. One
I'm
of the
aware of the twist.
Yeah, in the game, there's a robot professor, and the actual professor died. Doesn't it make more sense if the robot professor was like the opposite version professor, and the alive professor was our professor? That way, you can actually have both in the game. And the final boss fight. This is where it became evident to me that this game needed a third version. The final boss fight is you against a bunch of Paradox Pokemon and your legend. So like you use like if I have Scarlet, you use Koraidon versus a boss Koraidon. Wouldn't it make more sense if you were fighting the opposite version Paradox and opposite
Yes.
version? What I was like, if I battling, this would make more sense if I was fighting Miraidon as Koraidon. Why am I just fighting another one of my legendary? You know, it didn't make sense to me. I think an upper version that fuses both games
I
together.
mean, even in like Black and White, right? You fight Zekrom in Black, or no? Yeah,
Yeah, but
and you
that's
fight
also
Reshiram in White.
yeah, but that's also a little different because it's not exactly it's the sequel, right? I think the
No,
better.
in the first game is like you square out,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
your orb awakens, and then you fight the opposite legendary.
yeah. I get it now. Yeah, and that's how it is. Like most games, I think, where either if you're not like catching, because in Diamond you have to battle and catch Dialga, right? And then in Black, since you have Legendary, you battle the opposite one. Like if you catch the Legendary early, you battle the opposite one. I feel like how it usually is.
Yeah, that's
But
how it should be.
like how in Platinum, both legendaries are involved, and the story makes more sense as a whole because of that. But the Scarlet Violet story feels like it's halfway done because you only have half of the fucking things. Therefore, they should just smush it. And that's what like X and Y needed that. Sun and Moon honestly needed that because Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon somehow makes even less sense than Sun and
X
Moon.
and Y needed that real bad because of
Yeah,
X's plotline.
exactly. X's plotline like literally makes the game have like this.
The
Shut the fuck
story was
up.
made for Y, and they just threw the life Pokemon in the weapon of death.
And here's what I realized about X and Y. Uh, it's both Pokemon that charge the weapon,
That
right?
makes sense.
In
Yes.
this in the like flashback, AZ has both of them. Why does Lysander only have one? You fucking moron! This there needed to be a Z version so
Also,
bad.
doesn't Xerneas hatch from the same egg as Yveltal?
Yeah,
More credibility to the fact that that room was made for fucking Yveltal, not
yeah,
Xerneas.
and also the whole like it seems like here's what the plot to X or to Z should have been. Lysander gets both of them like he should have in the first place, and you have to gather the Zygarde cells to get 100% Zygarde to go fucking fight him. That's what it should have been.
I'm pretty sure it's similar to what happens in the anime,
That is what
which
happens. Yeah.
the game the games and anime storyline should be similar. I think
Not too similar.
not
Make it
too
make
similar, but
sense.
they should be similar enough because the anime has a cohesive storyline, more or less.
Yeah, yeah, but
It takes its liberties, obviously.
yeah,
Like I
I
don't
just
think we'd be fighting fucking Mecha Zygarde versus with like a 20 versus one
well,
Mecha Zygarde
dude,
in the game.
we have Lucam. Yeah, you have Lucamine getting eaten by fucking Nihilego and fighting her as a boss fight. Actually, you don't
Yeah,
fight
but you
her, I
fight her
guess. Yeah, you
Pokemon.
fight her Pokemon.
I mean, granted, in the anime, like Pikachu unleashes a 10 million volt Thunderbolt on Lusamine, which is very funny. But you
Yeah,
know,
it just Scarlet Violet desperately needs it needs something like if they did this route, I would not be mad at all because I think they need to bring back third versions in general. Because if you
the thing is they can't because if they do announce a version, because they already released a DLC for the Scarlet Violet, people will
people will
outrage.
be pissed. But the thing is, have the DLC included, have even more post game. They can do it. There is a way for them to do this correctly. It will be difficult to satisfy everybody,
I
but
definitely think we're on the probably like the unpopular side, wanting
we are.
a
We
Paldea
definitely are.
re-release.
But the thing is, a lot of people really like Paldea. A
Yeah,
lot of people
apparently so. It
really
seems like
like
a really
it's.
popular
It
region,
is really
surprisingly,
popular.
despite its like flaws as a game, the region itself gets a lot of love.
Yeah, people. I kind of agree. I don't. Well, I think the region is dog shit because the entire region is the same thing. Like nothing feels different.
I think it's more or less like the characters and the Pokemon
Yeah,
that
people
people
like the
really like about
characters.
Paldea.
People like the Pokemon, and people love the story. Which I have my own gripes about the story, where I think they dropped the ball like really heavily. But that's why the third version can fix it. That's why the third version can fix it. But if you look back
uh,
historically, what are the best Pokemon games, Russell?
the
Emerald,
re-releases
Platinum,
Emerald, Platinum, Black
Chris.
2, White 2,
Even Crystal is like regarded as being one of the
Crystal.
better earlier ones. You know?
Even people forgive Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon over Sun and
Yeah.
Moon.
And I'm like the most against Ultra Moon than anybody else. You know?
But
But
you will understand that the re-release does typically end up more popular.
it does because I think Ultra Moon is a flop because they don't merge the stories. I think the merging of like
Yeah,
having
they kind of do their
you
own
know.
thing, but like in a weird way.
And here's the thing about Sword Shield. Sword Shield did not need the third version because both legendaries are present in the story already. You
You
know
literally get to fight alongside them in a raid
exactly,
battle against Eternamax, which is
and,
fucking awesome. By
and
the way,
that like completely like Sword and Shield did not need the third version because the story makes sense without it. But Scarlet Violet's story would absolutely make more sense if it just pushed the stories of both games together. And that's why Platinum's so much better than Diamond Pearl. That's why Emerald is so much better than Ruby Sapphire because it literally just makes more sense if you have a trio of legendaries or legendaries that are related, but you don't have them interact at all. It's like what is the point? What's the point of even having them? Merch sales. But yeah, I think that is a good possibility. But I also think we should move on from discussing the Paldea shit.
yeah,
I'm actually going to write down on a notepad all of our
it's actually something we didn't bring
possibilities.
up last time too. By the way, the Paldea re-release.
I think I brought it up
When
briefly right before I got cut off by Adam going nuts. Anyway, okay. Option one, Paldea re-release. Re-release. Whether it's and I think it doesn't matter if it's a remake, a third version, and whatever the fuck, as long as it's oh, you know what I was talking about last time? A Legends Paldea game.
Yeah, you did talk
That's what
about that
I think I talked about.
because of the ties to what is it, the Treasures of Ruin or whatever.
Yeah, I think the Treasures of Ruin are once again like they have a lot of potential that should be capitalized on soon. They're really really cool. People are saying that the next mythical is going to be related to them because they don't really have like
Leader,
yeah, exactly, a leader. Where I
like the
feel like
Kelio to the Swords of Justice.
exactly, or like or a Landorus, or whatever. Because I feel like a lot of legendary groups have a leader, especially when they're like like the Regis. They're like five Regis, and Regigigas is their leader. The Force of Nature, there's four of them. Landorus is the leader, but there's four Treasures of Ruin, but there's not really like any order of precedence between them, which I think. And also, so have you heard? I think I've talked about the rumor a little bit in Pokemon chat. Did you see what I said
Um,
about like the
I
King
think
Kong?
so. King Kong. I think so.
I think I didn't realize this at first, but I think it's a pretty evident that this is what we're getting. I think it is going to be a play on like a King Gorilla type of thing because number one, this Paldea has so many references to kaiju's, like a weird amount. We have Slitherwing, which is obviously like Volcarona as a whole is a Mothra reference, but Slitherwing specifically is like supposed to be an homage to Mothra in its larva form. So number one. Number two, we have Iron Thorns, which is Mecha Godzilla. Number three, we have Iron Juglius, which is Mecha King Ghidorah. And then we even get the new Godzilla Pokemon, Arctobax or whatever, which is straight up God. Like he just is Godzilla. So it kind of makes sense if you want
Fucking Baxcalibur.
to throw us another kaiju, that being a King Kong esque like King Gorilla type of thing,
Yeah, now that you mention it, that makes a lot of sense.
because you have then there's your those are the five biggest kaiju's: Ghidorah, Mothra, Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, who is not really a
And
kaiju,
one being a mythical, since
and
they're
they
not legendary, makes sense.
and exactly. I think that's what they're where we're going with this, and also it ties into the Treasures of Ruin. The whole thing with their backstory is they were corrupted by a king, and that king doesn't necessarily have to be a actual king. It could be a
King
Pokemon king.
Kong.
Exactly. It's actually like tying together suspiciously too well, you know? And there's the picture of the gorilla Pokemon in the Scarlet book that I just thought was like a Rillaboom or something. But a lot of people are just like, no, it's not a Rillaboom. It's a new mythical. I'm like, wait a minute. This is kind of coming together.
Well, if that's true, then that's crazy. That's some crazy fucking
I,
foreshadowing that
I,
they've had going on this whole
and,
time.
and that's why Scarlet Violet, like, under all the shit, is actually super compelling because there's stuff like this that you can piece together. The whole Volo situation, like the treasure, basically everything to do with the Treasure Ruin is really good. All the implications, and this is why a Legends game, it would be sick. You can introduce this new mythical in the Paldea Legends game. You can tie in the story to the possibility of Volo being involved with the Pokemon wielder shit, and then you can actually flesh out. We can relive the myth of the Treasures of Ruin that we just heard about. And then it's also easier on Pokemon Company because they don't have to make a new map. You just use the old map and alter it,
True.
and it works too well. It works too well to be real. I'm gonna put option
It's such like
to
a free home run that it's almost hard to believe that the Pokemon Company will capitalize.
yeah. It is it seems like such a freebie, but it's almost like Paldea was meant to get a Legends game with all this stuff of like you know they because there's so much stuff from like the expedition from 200 years ago, the Treasures of Ruin, so much history. It feels like it's meant for a Legends game. But the question is, are we getting it now or are we getting it in 10 years from now? Whatever. So, okay. Let's talk about Unova now. What do you think if we do go back to Unova? Since you're on the Unova train, what do you think we would be getting?
What do I think we would be getting out of Unova? I think something similar to Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, where it's not going to be a crazy mainline thing. It'll be more of a spin-off Unova type thing.
But BD,
If we
so,
do go
but that's a remake.
Yeah, I think I think if we get anything Unova related, that's like mainline. That's probably saved for the 30th anniversary.
Okay.
But we'd probably get some little side thing to hold people over.
It's like an Ilka developed Black White remake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is BDSP considered mainline?
Yes.
Oh, never mind. I don't know then. I don't know if I believe in the Unova stuff anymore. I just think we're gonna get Unova in some capacity in like whatever we do get.
I
Not
can
necessarily
see.
a Unova revisit.
I think out of everything, I don't think we'd get Black White remake. Um. Well, here's the problem, I guess, right? With Unova, there's almost too many things they can do. They can remake Black and White. They have Black White 2 to deal with. They have the possibility for Black and White 3. They have the possibility for um Legends Unova, and on top of that, they can just port Black and White and Black and White 2 if they don't feel like remaking it.
Yeah.
I think those are the three options. I don't think Let's Go Unova is on the board because that just would not make any sense. I think everyone will be upset at that. Out of all of those, see, I don't think they'd want to release a Black and White 3 if they did not remake Black and White 1 and 2 yet, or re-release them.
Let's Go Unova would be so funny because Team Plasma is all about liberating Pokemon and Let's Go is all about catching them.
I think out of all of those, Legends Unova is the most likely. I still don't think it's super likely. But possibly, maybe, here's what they might do. If you want to say, like, because they've been giving us so much Unova stuff in the DLC, maybe we just get a port, like a straight up port to Switch. Not a remake.
Yeah.
It's like a bundled together Black and Black 2, and then the other one will be White and White 2 on one cartridge. Or not even, have it be like download eShop exclusive, like how
Yeah.
Red, Blue,
So
Yellow
like
was.
sort of like the how the consoles work, the virtual consoles,
Yeah,
but except it's just for Black White,
yeah.
Black to White too.
I kind of even, I like that idea because then it prepares people for like the Unova storm that
Some new
will come.
Unova type thing that will.
Because don't forget, Unova is like generally the worst selling region too. So like between the adult fans, because I talk to a lot of people that are like my age and older, or our age and older, and they're like, "Yeah, I stopped playing when Gen 5 came out." And I talked to kids that are younger than us. I was like, "Oh yeah, I started playing in Gen 6," meaning that there's so many fucking people.
It's just like the
It's just
cutoff.
yeah, it really is. So I think maybe just dropping those games on the Switch is a really good idea to get people ready for the Unova storm to be shoved down our throat in like 2026.
You know why Unova has gained popularity so much so recently?
Yeah,
It's the Star Wars prequels phenomenon, where like these things that people considered bad at the time have all of a sudden gained sudden popularity over the past few years because the people who were kids during that time have grown up and now have vocal opinions.
true. I agree with that. Yeah.
Because they both are roughly for the around the same age group of people, and now that they're a bit older and the internet is a thing, all those people are saying, "Hey, this is actually good," even though maybe not so much for the prequels, but sudden uptick in popularity despite them being largely unpopular, especially around their release time.
Dude, I remember, I think I've told you this story before, but it's like, I think it would be cool to say it on the podcast. I remember when the Unova games were coming out, I was standing in line in like a Target or a Walmart or something with my mom because we were just going grocery shopping or something. And there were two, to me, they were like adult guys, but they could have been probably high school or college because I was so young and they just looked older to me. And
Mm-hmm.
I actually remember like begging my mom because uh it was at this time, remember with the posters of the Unova starters as silhouettes?
Yeah.
It was at the time where those were everywhere, right? Oh no,
Mm.
it was right after. Like those were hanging up still, but the game Black and White just came out because it was over the summer, I think. So they just released it in the United States, and I remember begging my mom to get the new Unova Pokemon cards or whatever, or some type of Pokemon card pack. And the two guys standing in front of us online were trash talking the fuck out of Black and White. They were just ragging on it, like, "Oh, this is the worst Pokemon game ever. Every Pokemon's so ugly." And I remember listening to them and like having tears fucking swell up in my eyes, like it's like 7-year-old PJ listening to these adult men trash talk my newest favorite game, and they're probably the ones begging for the remakes now too.
You talk to people fucking about Black and White. Ice cream Pokemon. There's
My
literally a
God,
Pokemon that's garbage.
they're like the same. They're like the Pokemon fan equivalent of like
Yo,
Andrew Tate fans or something.
Garbodor Slender will not be tolerated.
Dude, I love Garbo. I genuinely really like Garbodor. And also, I think Vanillux is an interesting because the whole thing with Vanillux is that it's not the ice cream; it's under the ice cream. It's like even these bad Pokemon, these quote unquote simple bad Pokemon designs have layers to them. Trubbish is not a bag of garbage; it's a cat in a bag of garbage.
It's a cat.
That's so funny. Like,
Bro, the Trubbish being
oh,
in the cat Pokemon card thing was insane.
that was like a revolution, the Trubbish revolution. I actually know people whose favorite Pokemon is Trubbish. You know,
Trubbish is just a little guy.
and once again, it's like every Pokemon in Unova has that fucking like second meaning to them almost, where none of the Pokemon are just one thing; they're always something. Like even the legendaries have so like you have alchemy, you have Taoism, you have their generators, and then their names are Reshiram, Ram, Rem. You have the naming stuff going on with them. There's like so much in every single Pokemon in Unova that's so good. And people are like, "Oh, the trash Pokemon, you stupid idiot."
Trash can.
It's, and then like you make the
This
comparison
Pokemon
from,
is literally a deer.
and also this comes back to my idea where I know you don't agree with it, but if you like Gen 1, or like if you like Gen 5, you have to like Gen 1 and vice versa because they're based off, or like Gen 5 is based off Gen 1. The Gen 1ers that shit on Gen 5 make no sense to me because Gen 5 is every single Gen 1 Pokemon literally done better. You take Muck and
That's the
Grimer,
point.
you do it a little better. You have Trubbish and Garbodor. You know, you have uh, what's the cat Pokemon? Liepard and
Purloin.
Purloin, and that's Meowth and Persian, just done better. You have Bouffalant, that's Tauros, but done better. You have Braviary, that's Fearow, but done better. Every single thing is just better Kanto Pokemon. And then the Gen 1, it's always Gen 1ers too that are shitting on Gen 5. I don't know why. Anyway, so for right now, I have written down, since I think we're at a little bit of a halfway talking point. Option 1, Paldea re-release. Option 2, Legends Paldea. Option 3, Virtual Console Unova. Option 4, Legends Unova. No chance Unova remake Black and White 3.
Black and White 3. I mean, like, as I would not want to see it, but
Yeah,
nowadays.
I
But
think.
we can't discredit the fact that it's totally possible.
Oh yeah. I'm saying no chance this direct.
Yeah.
That's what this is, and we can. I think we should rank these options when we have them all typed out.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. I'll
Um,
do.
do you think it's possible that they're going to ride the Sinnoh train in the ground and give us another Sinnoh game?
Dude, I would actually. I was just about to say bring this up next. An Ilka developed Platinum remake.
Oh, that it would be a redemption story for
It would be
Ilka,
ridiculous.
hopefully.
Like if this is what they're going for, where they're just trying to like basically release buffer games and create more goodwill. This is what they do. You know, they have Ilka develop a competent Platinum remake.
Yeah.
And the way, even looking at it from a corporate standpoint, this could be their final test for Ilka. Where if they fuck this up, they're done for. But if they actually pull it off, they can stay around. And then it gives the fans what they want because we get our platinum content. I would not be mad with it. I don't think I would be because once and also it comes back to the buffer game. If they want to have a buffer game to have more time to work on their
A
next thing,
perfect buffer game.
it's
Literally,
it's
that's why they
literally yeah,
released Diamond and Pearl one year, and then they released Platinum later.
yeah.
It,
Although I
people would probably not like it, but it would make sense as a release schedule regardless.
yeah. And here's another thing. A lot of this comes back to the casual fan thing. How casual fans love Paldea. Casual fans really like BDSP because it's
That
so
is
simple and
surprising.
the art style is so like chibi and cute that all the plushie collectors and shit will play it. You know, the plushie collectors they're not playing Legends Arceus because they don't want to play Pokemon Dark Souls, but they'll fucking play, chibi Ilka developed VDSP because it's easy, it's simple, and it's that. So I think it.
I hate BDSP art style.
I think if Ilka developed Platinum would uh would be a good buffer game. I don't think it's very likely though. If I'm
We're
being
on the
real,
same wavelength though with the
yeah.
Sinnoh thing. We do think it's totally possible that they continue to
So
drive
no,
Sinnoh into the ground.
it's gonna revisit Ilka. I'll put it as like a slash. Ilka Plat. Uh, any alternative to the Ilka developed Platinum? Like what is there? Let's go
Um,
Sinnoh? Question mark.
let's go Sinnoh. Nah, I think if we were to get another Let's Go game, it would probably
It'd be
just be
Johto.
Johto.
That we'll talk about that next then.
Yeah.
But Johto and Sinnoh are like, they
Oh,
do go
actually,
hand in hand.
to go back to the first thing that we talked about
Hmm.
with the spin-offs, Explorers of Sky, or at least Time and Darkness, are
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Sinnoh dungeon games. So if they are in the Sinnoh train, that is a good time to re-release those.
you're right. That could be our Sinnoh content. I do agree. I guess that is about it. Because what could they do for Sinnoh? We already have the Legends game. We have our quote unquote remake. I guess we move on to Johto, right?
Yeah.
I think Johto's another big one that everyone's talking about. Um, because everyone's basically there's two sides of the community right now. The ones that want a Johto game and the one that want a Unova game. Here's the thing, though. Before we talk about this,
I'm on neither side right now. I don't want the game yet, but I also fucking hate Johto.
I
So
I, I think oopsie, I just closed down my Clodsire by accident. Anyway, um, I think typically Pokemon Company really really likes to give us the unexpected when
they do.
when you think about it, even if it's not good. They like to trick us. No one thought we were getting Ultra Sun Ultra Moon, but we got that. No one thought we were getting Black and White 2, but we got that. You know? No one thought we were
No one
getting
thought we
Let's
were
Go.
getting BDSP.
No one thought we were getting Legends Arceus, but we got that. So I think the fact that everyone is thinking we're getting either Unova or Johto next is almost going to like will that out of
They're going
existence.
to it's like they don't do it out of spite.
Not even out of spite, but just because it would be too predictable. Which is
Yeah.
why which is why I think trying to guess something unexpected is almost in a way more likely than guessing the expected.
Which is why we brought up the Paldea re-release in the first
Which
place.
is why I'm going to bring up the cursed name,
Oh.
Pokemon Z.
Holy shit.
Think
Wait,
about it.
wait. This circles back to the Kalos rumors from
It
Scarlet
does.
Violet.
It
What if they've
does.
been working? What if the Kalos leak was actually that they were working on a Kalos game instead of a Kalos DLC?
There you go.
Oh my
And
god.
Scarlet
If
Violet
so,
does make a lot of references to Mega Evolution. Okay,
Megas should be in games.
Mega
Should have been
yeah.
in every game after Gen 6. By the
They
way,
they should have never done regional gimmicks. I think regional gimmicks are a mistake because
I agree. I think Mega Evolution should have just been a
it,
long-standing mechanic, and we should have gotten
exactly
new Megas.
because that's the difference between a mechanic and a gimmick. Imagine they took out abilities after Generation 3. That would be a gimmick. But now instead it's a mechanic. And Mega Evolution was a mechanic, but now it's a gimmick because they fucking took it out in Generation 8. You know,
Yeah.
Z moves.
Z-Move should have stood him. So
I don't
should
know.
I think they work for what they're in. I like the fact that only one Pokemon can use it in a
Yeah,
team, and that it's a what's it called. It's a, you have to sacrifice a held item
and it's an alternative to Mega, right? Like once
because
you
like
Z move, you can't Mega in the same battle. Am I
no,
correct about
you
that?
can do
Oh,
both.
you
The
can.
thing is, you can't have a Pokemon hold a Mega Ring or a Mega Crystal,
Oh
a
yeah,
Mega Stone, and a Z Crystal.
yeah.
Um, but the fact that like Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon
You
do
can just
not
slap
need a
an item
held item
on.
for that.
You
Same
can,
goes for Terra types. You
yeah,
can just fucking throw Terra or throw Dynamax on any Pokemon. But Z moves and Megas had a limiter where you needed
yeah,
to give up your held item for either of those.
yeah. I agree, basically completely. Um, I do think here's the issue, right? Uh, you were more like they put themselves in a position where they have to bring back Megas, even if they don't go to Kalos. Here's why. The Let's Go games have Megas in them. Alola has Megas in them, and Oras has Megas in them. Therefore, if we if we ever go back to Aura or Hoenn, and there's no Megas, people are gonna lose their fucking marbles.
Yeah,
If even if they do, if they somehow do pump out another Let's Go Johto, and there's no Megas, people are gonna be like, where the fuck are the Megas? Megas were in the first Let's Go. Why are they in the second one? You know? And even if they go back to Kanto, now that we have had Kanto with Megas, people will be upset if we go back again and don't have Megas because it just does not make sense. But Z moves are only being limited to Alola. I feel like they will probably never come back outside of a Lola remake.
I
Unfortunately,
mean the thing is, Z moves only worked within the region of Alola because
that's
of how
true.
the energy worked.
Yeah, but you can bring Megas anywhere. Anyway,
Megas
we're
have been brought in other
yeah.
places.
I think we're getting a little off topic, a little bit off topic.
Yeah.
I will write down option 6. I know we said we are talking about Johto next, but now I kind of want to talk about Pokemon Z, and why it is a possibility. Number one, like you said, there was the rumored Kalos stuff that we never got in Scarlet Violet. Number two, um, if this does line up with real world geography, you can uh, have the Paldea re-release or whatever in this Pokemon Z game,
Yeah.
right? It could kind of work, especially even if it's a Legends uh, Kalos game. That makes it work even better, where you can have like the war be between Kalos and Paldea. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
I think like what Legends Kalos.
Yeah. Do you think
I
Legends?
think
Sorry, go ahead.
Legends Kalos would be really interesting because I think I don't know. I like the idea of like the lore behind Mega Evolutions and how Mega Stones come from like this ore that exists in the world.
Yeah.
They'd bring back fucking Liam.
Hey, keep the Clay bloodline. Also, side note, is Clay's bloodline like the longest we've seen date back, or like not the longest, but like the most expansive? Because there's Leon,
Maybe.
there's Clay, and now he has a daughter in Scarlet Violet. So that's 3 generations of Clay's bloodline we've seen. I don't think we've seen because that most we've only ever gotten 2, right? With like
Yeah.
I mean, unless you count Cynthia, Volo, and Kogita. But the
And
issue is there is no relation between Volo and Kogita, so it's kind of like,
it's just the naming convention and how they look.
but like they could be related, but
Yeah, that's the
they
thing. It's
could
the naming
also
convention and how
could
they
not.
look that sort of
Yeah, that's a weird situation. So I guess the confirmed bloodline.
implied relation, but implied bloodline, but not guaranteed.
But the thing is, we know Kogita. At least Kogita does not know she's related to Volo in the games, which is weird. Anyway, um, so Pokemon Z Legends Kalos. I've got that written. Is that a good two
Yeah.
options? All right. On to probably the last two, right?
Hmm.
Uh, Either Legends Johto or a Let's Go type of Johto game. Perhaps not called Let's Go Johto, but similar
In
in
the vein of
concept.
Let's Go.
Yeah, where it might not have the same mechanics, but it fills the same purpose of just bringing Let's Go to a modern audience. Or not Let's Go, Johto. I'm sorry. Option 8, Let's Johto. Option 9, Legends Johto. And now we've covered a lot of fucking grounds here.
We have.
We've covered a lot of grounds. I don't think we need to talk about Let's Go and Legends of Johto that much, just because everyone expects that and it's been talked about so much. And also, you're not really interested in Johto, and I think that Johto just needs like a complete rework, which is why Let's Go Johto might be beneficial.
I
But
mean, we can go over what you said last time we recorded. Something about you hope we don't go to Kanto, right? In a
oh
next in
yeah,
an
that,
upcoming
that is a
Johto
good
game.
that is a good point. No, I don't think I'm not. I wasn't saying I hope we don't. I'm saying I don't think we will. I want to,
Oh,
but I think that Pokemon is on like a bad streak when it comes to having good post games where they and since Let's Go is so simple and fucking basically for babies, why would they? You know, that's kind
yeah.
of what I was trying to get at. Or like Let's Go is seen as a kiddie game. It's an intro game. It's and little kids are not going to, well, at least for the target audience. But we all know that the who's going to be playing this game are like 40-year-old men and random college students. You know, but
Yeah.
from Game Freak's point of view, their target audience are is fucking babies. So why there's no need to include Kalos. But here we are. Anyway, also if we get a Legends Johto, also would we go back to Kanto? I don't think so because Legends game's already long as shit. I don't want. I don't even want. That's where I would want to go back to Kanto in a Legends Johto
I
game.
think I think multiple regions in a Legends game would be fucking crazy.
That would be that. Honestly, now that you've brought that up, maybe like a Legends game that's like Hoenn, Kanto, Johto smushed into one. Because
That would
actually,
be funny.
wait a damn second. Hold on, something's coming. My creativity, the juices are flowing. Check this out. Johto doesn't
Oh
have
boy.
enough story to warrant a whole Legends game by itself, right?
Hmm.
There's no chance they can milk enough story from Kanto to get a whole Legends game either. But Hoenn's got enough stuff there. So what if they smush the Hoenn? Literally, what if they just smush it all together? Because the Johto and Kanto portions can get carried by the Hoenn story.
I have a question.
Shoot.
We're talking about Legends a lot, okay?
Uh huh.
How the fuck are they gonna start a new one that's not Legends Arceus, considering how the main character ended up in their position in the first place?
Hold on. Okay. How would they start another Legends game without time travel? Basically.
Yeah, or like at least without help from Arceus in particular, since that's like the head of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
last game.
I think you just have it take place in like your protagonist is born into that time period. Like you're not an isekai or
Yeah,
whatever.
that could work.
You know,
I
unless
think
unless
what
they.
was it you or Adam that brought up Celebi last time?
Oh,
And
you're
Celebi
right.
can time travel as
So
well.
maybe Selby time travel somebody. That is also an interesting possibility. They could do that for Legends Johto. I hope they don't though, because I think I would have found the plot to Legends Arceus be a little bit better if the player character was just born in Hisui. You know, and I think this is kind of the appeal to Black and White to me, where a lot of player characters in the Pokemon games they feel like they have like chosen one syndrome. You know,
Mhm.
especially Legends Arceus, where your character is literally like handpicked by God. But I think Black and White 2 is really cool because it feels like the Black White 2 player character was not meant to be there. Like the Black and White player character, you know, they're in the say, every player character, they're in the town with the professor. They just moved there. They have like no reason to really go out and adventure, but they get thrown into this circumstance. But the black and white two player character, you're nowhere near. You don't meet the professor till the end game. You get you're like you didn't just move to this town. You were born there. You were raised there. You have like a friend that's lived there their whole life too, and has a and then you and your friend have the backstory to go fight Team Plasma because your fucking friend's cat got stolen, and then you kind of just stumble into this the story of Black and White 2. When other Pokemon games, it feels like the player characters are pushed like sit like
Yeah.
in the Sinnoh games, you're pushed to go fight Team Galactic by Cynthia. You don't just do it. You know, in the Hoenn games, Steven's basically guiding you and holding your hand the whole time to go fight Rayquaza or Groudon and Kyogre. I'm sorry, you know. But in Black and White 2, it feels like you're just doing it and it's just happening. It's not like the player character was chosen. So I would like it games to be more like that, where it's not so much literally handpicked, but feels fair, I guess. It helps with the. I went on a tangent there. I'm sorry.
All good, all good.
um,
Does that cover all our options for mainline assumptions?
I think so. Do you want me to run down the list again?
Yeah, sure, because I haven't been writing it down.
Okay. I have Paldea re-release, meaning like third version that works
Yeah.
properly. Legends Paldea, Virtual Console Unova, Legends Unova, Sinnoh Revisit slash Ilka Platinum, Pokemon Z, Legends Kalos, Let's Go Johto, Legends Johto, and then in the no chance category, I have Unova Remake, Black White 3, and under that, I just have written, like, I just jotted down Legends, Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, like, if we were to mush it into one. But I also think that has no chance.
I think that's absurdly unrealistic.
Yeah, that's a copium. That's a copium
Yeah.
pick. That's like a wish of mine, but not gonna happen. I think I should also put into the no chance category a Kalos Paldea split game. That's also massive copium.
Yeah.
And I think we've covered a lot of great. I think out of these like handful options,
One of these is gonna be
one
right.
of we have to be right about one of these. You know, unless they drop. Wait, we forgot. We actually did forget something, Russell.
Oh no.
Gen 10.
Oh my god.
We
No,
forgot,
there's no way we get Gen 10 right now. There's zero chance. That has to
I
go in the no chance category.
I don't know. I think there's a. I don't think it's. I think it's very. It's probably the least likely, but I think there's
No
a very small
shot.
because once again it goes back to the thing of like they might just want to get the fuck away from Scarlet Violet
Okay.
by distancing themselves from Gen 9 entirely. But the thing is, once again, we're not done with the Paldea anime. We still have a mythical that might be released. You're right. There is no chance.
Oh yeah, that's right. The mythical. I didn't even think about that.
Exactly. I'll put Gen 10 and no chance. I do think it's worth bringing up as discussion though,
It is. It is worth the mention. It is worth the mention.
because it is a big Gen 10 is a massive is going to be a big fucking deal when it does happen. And once again, the time doesn't feel right. But yeah, are we gonna? Do you think we want to rank these now?
Yeah.
I can stream. I can share
No,
my.
I have the. I have. I wrote down all the ones that weren't.
And no, okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
So out of all of these, what is the most likely? I think we're gonna have different responses. We can actually both do separate lists. I'm gonna start mine.
Okay.
So what's your most likely?
My most likely. Oh god.
It's hard. It is really hard.
I think my most likely Sinnoh or Ilka Plat.
Interesting. That is super interesting. Uh, shoot, this is a hard. This is a really tough pick. I'm not gonna lie. Oopsie.
I think Legends titles are really hard to say because I don't know if Legends Arceus is an anomaly or if they'll make it a series.
You
I
know,
really can't tell.
I'm rocking with I'm rocking with it. I see. I've been saying this for years, and I'm gonna get it right eventually if I keep saying it. We're gonna get a Johto something. So my one will be let's go like Johto. That's my one. I'm rocking with it. I'm not changing. I'm sticking.
I
What,
respect it.
what do you think comes next?
I have Let's Go Johto as my two.
Okay, I think I'm gonna put Legends Johto as my two. I think it's because Johto is the perfect. But fuck, it's Legend of Johto would suck, man.
Yeah, I don't think it's realistic. I actually have Legends Johto as my last,
Yeah,
as my
hold
least
on.
likely.
I'll put. You know what I'll do? I'll put Paldea re-release.
I thought they release at 4.
I'll put it as
I
my
have a
two.
Kalos. I have a Kalos Pokemon Z at 3
Can we
because I
lump?
do think
Sorry, go ahead.
I think the Kalos leaks for the DLC that were not for no reason. You know
Well,
what
the
I
thing
mean?
is,
I think there's a chance that some insider shit got leaked from Game Freak
I
that
don't
was
even
not
remember
intended.
if they were like verified leaks or if they were just.
Weren't they from credible leakers though?
At this point, it was so long ago, I don't remember. But I feel like the Riddler. But the thing is, the Riddler's a dickhead. You know, the Riddler purposely misleads people, so it's really hard to
Hmm.
tell. But I do think Kalos does stand a higher chance on this list. Can we, before we go on, can we lump Legends Paldea and Paldea re-release into one thing?
Sure, sure.
At least can I? Because I think it goes hand in hand. Paldea re-release. So that my number two is some type of Paldea revisit. I'll put my number three as a Legends Kalos. Um, four. What was your number three, by the way? I'm sorry.
My 3 was Kalos. My 4 is
Oh, okay.
Paldea.
Okay, my bad. I genuinely don't think we're gonna like. I think Unova is probably gonna be really down
Yeah,
this
that's what
list
I'm
for
saying.
me.
That your next should be Sinnoh, no? For your 4.
I was thinking either that or Z. Nah, Z's
Mm.
not happening. Nah, Z's not happening. I gotta keep telling myself that. I want it so bad. Yeah, it's gotta be Sinnoh. Sinnoh, five. I'll put.
Beyond that, 5 VR Unova Virtual
Yeah,
Console.
okay, that was gonna be my five as well. And then six will be Z. Seven will be
I have the
Legend.
Legends games at the bottom.
Yeah,
All the Legends games are below Unova.
I'm putting Legends Johto above Legends Unova just cause. Motherfucker.
Fair enough.
Just because I genuinely don't think we're getting any Unova anything.
So to go over my list, I got Sinnoh being the most likely. Let's Go Johto being second. Pokemon Z being 3. Paldea re-release being 4. Virtual Console Unova 5. And then Legends like below that. Any Legends title below
Okay.
that.
We should pull these up when we watch the direct. Well, okay, wait,
Yeah.
we forgot about the insanely cursed like 10th option or whatever. No game.
Oh yeah, no game. I'm actually gonna put no game at 3.
I'm gonna put no game at my five. That's what I'm gonna do.
I
And
think a no game is more likely than my options above it.
six.
I think if we don't get anything Sinnoh or Johto related, we're probably getting nothing. As much as I wouldn't be surprised if we get something Unova related, I think it's more likely that we get no game than we get something Unova related.
And here's you want to hear the super secret cursed option?
Mm.
No direct.
There's no chance. There's actually zero chance.
What
They
if
do
there's
one every single year
what
now.
if there's nothing? What if they have nothing for us? That would
No
be
fucking chance.
yeah. I don't think there's a chance either. I'll put that in the no chance category because that's I don't know. It seems like they're just missing it. Oh, but here's the thing, right? There is that also that rumored Nintendo Direct in March, so that could be screwing with the next console. Like, what if they don't want to have a Pokemon Presents because they they're working on something for the next console, but the next console hasn't been revealed yet, so they have to wait for Nintendo to reveal their stuff.
I mean, that's more reasons I believe no game announcement.
But then there's also no reason. There's more reason to have no fucking direct. Because if you're gonna have a direct with no mainline announcement, what the fuck is the point? You could have just made.
No, they gotta announce the next Terra raids, bro.
Oh my god. Well, I think we covered most of our grounds. We have to have predicted something on this list. Something. One of these things is going to happen. And if none of these things happen, I think we lose our certification as Pokemon predictors or whatever. Not like
Yo,
I had
if
any to
none of
begin
this,
with.
if none of this happens, I'm never predicting Pokemon games ever again.
I can't believe this is like my probably like my third or fourth year in a row predicting Let's Go Johto.
It's copium at this point. It's actually copium.
No, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna say I told you so when it happens in like 5 years from now. Man, Let's Go Johto's gonna be the bane of my fucking existence. I think you know what I think a good conversation for a different podcast would be?
Mm.
Pokemon games we should have gotten and never got.
Ooh.
So Z, Delta Emerald, Stars, shit like that. And and we can, upper versions for Scarlet Violet.
No, that's happening. What do you mean?
And if we never get the Let's Go Johto, that would be ending up getting in that category where it's like games that, what the fuck happened to them? Why they fall face the planet? Anyway, let's see what the recording's at. We're at an hour and 11 minutes. I think this is a good time to stop it, right?
We made pretty good time. I actually thought we were gonna. I didn't think we were gonna break 40 minutes, to be honest.
Yeah. Let's see. What I have written down on Steven's text.
Hold on. Do you mind taking over for a second? My doorbell just rang.
All right, guys, he's gone. I can do whatever I want now. This is where I'm going to spread my Pokemon Johto propaganda and why we are definitely getting Pokemon Let's Go Johto in the year of our Lord and Savior 2024. Because if you take all the numbers in the release year of the original Johto games, that being 1997, you multiply them by an integer and subtract them all by the same year, you get the number 2024, meaning that Johto is confirmed to be re-released in 2024, right? And now, also, if you take all the forms of every Pokemon in the Pokedex and add enough numbers to get to the year 2024, it makes the year 2024. And that means that Johto will be released in the year 2024. Okay, he sounds like he's coming back.
Apologies.
It's all good. Anyway, the last stuff. What the hell? What's going on in that house?
Yeah.
This guy's taking a phone call now.
They're already in. Bye-bye.
Hello?
Yeah, sorry. Package.
All good. Alright. The last things I had written down. This actually has nothing to do with what we're talking about anymore. It's just something I wanted to bring up. Along the lines of Megas returning, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always figured the reason they scrapped Megas was because they wanted to push regional variants, and they knew that they were going to give regional variants special evolutions. And so if you, let's say you give a Pokemon with a Mega Evolution a regional variant, and that regional variant evolves, like, hold on, Audino, right? Audino gets a regional variant. Or no, Audino evolves into a regional variant, or something along the lines. What happens to Mega Audino?
Yeah.
Right? But
then that defeats the point of Mega Evolution is that the Pokemon's already hit its max evolution and that it can break beyond that limit.
Exactly. No, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like Mega Evolution puts this thing where like this is it, and then it goes beyond its evolutions. So that's why they scrapped it because they wanted to give Pokemon actual evolutions. But here's the thing about Gigantamax, right? Gigantamax kind of is in that same vein as well. I'd like to think. Duraludon has a Gigantamax, but
He also has an
it
evolution.
has an evolution now. So why can't you just give us Mega something and give it an evolution anymore?
Also, fun fact: Mega Evolution is already in at least 1/3 of the regions that we can play in.
1/3? Let's see.
It's
Hoenn,
in it's in
Kalos,
Hoenn,
Do,
Kalos.
Alola. That's half.
Oh wait,
That's
no
over.
wait, it's in half. Never mind.
Well,
I
not.
forgot.
Wait, is that half?
It's in Hoenn, Kalos, Hoenn, Kalos,
Well, we have 9. We technically have 10
uh,
regions,
Alola,
so it is a close.
Kanto.
It's almost half.
Yeah, it's in 4 of them.
Yeah, because we have 10 on technicality. If you want to, well, we have 10 if you either want to include Hisui separate from Sinnoh, which I wouldn't. But you
I
also have
wouldn't either.
you have the Or games, which I don't know if we count those
I
either.
wouldn't count those either.
Okay, so then it's 4 out of 9. Oh wait, that
Which
is
is
also a possibility. An Or game remake or re-release, which we didn't talk about.
true.
I'll put that at 4.5 for me, just because I kind of like those games. Anyway, let's wrap it up. 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 Any last words?
Um, 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 um. Last words. Pokemon is cool.
Those are some good last words. Very solid. All right, thank you guys for joining us. Our next upload will probably be for Pokemon Day, unless any big news comes out before then. And see you guys later.